Hey guys, Karibo Bros here, and today we've got a GOAT deck profile. So GOAT was the Yu-Gi-Oh format from October. From April to October 2005.
Just talked about this, man.
We just talked about it, but anyway, yeah. So GOAT's April to October 2005. All the sets that are included in GOAT are anything from Legend of Blue Eyes up into and including the Lost Millennium, which was the first GX pack. You can use Collector's Tin 2, I believe. Yeah, I think it's called Collector's Tin 2. Hence why you can use Yugioh Universe. I think Yugioh might have only been around for a few weeks during the GOAT format. I'm not too sure. I don't think there was actually any major YCSs or anything back in the day that actually had Yugioh in it. But at the time, you could use Yugioh during a few weeks of GOAT. That's why it's played. So anyway, we've got a 40 card deck, and we'll go through it. This is known as Chaos Turbo. Obviously, you play a lot of Chaos monsters, so we don't play an extra deck because you don't need to. But anyway, I'm just going to go through and explain what there is. So obviously, first we have Blackluster Soldier, Envoy in the beginning, the MVP of the deck. Banish the light in the dark, summon it and attack, you can special summon it. You can banish a card your opponent controls, but if you do that, you can't attack. And then if you use an opponent's monster by battle, he gains a second attack. However, you can only use one effect per turn. Chaos Sorcerer. You play 3 of these. Again, you banish the light in the dark, you summon this card. You can banish a face-up monster your opponent controls. However, it can't attack the same turn it does this. Play 3 copies of Thunder Dragon. So, Thunder Dragon recently got a reprint in Kyber collection. I haven't picked up 3 yet, I need to, but anyway, these are Metal Raiders. Actually, Metal Raiders German versions. Play 2 copies of Yugioh Universe. Yugioh's obviously one of your dark targets. He's an 1800 beat, and he has a 1900 defense, which is quite nice. His effect is when he's attacking a defense position monster, you can reduce his attack by 400 to inflict piercing. So it's quite good when you're getting over common cards that are set in the format like Magician of Faith, Knight Assailant, and even Magical Merchant, which have very low attack points. And like I said, if you don't want to pierce, you can keep it with an 1800 attack point total. 2 copies of Knight Assailant. Knight Assailant is also another dark target for your Chaos players. When he's flipped, he targets a monster your opponent controls and destroys it. And if this card is sent from your hand to the graveyard, you can target a flip effect monster that's in your graveyard to add it back. So if you discard one off, say, maybe Graceful Charity, you can add the other Knight Assailant back. Other cards you could add back include Magical Merchant or Magician of Faith. Speaking of Magical Merchant, we played 2 of this. So he's a light target, obviously to help get the Chaos targets in your graveyard. When this card's flipped, you excavate the top cards from your deck until you hit a spell or trap card. All the monsters go to the graveyard, and the spell or trap card that you drew goes to your hand. 2 copies of Magician of Faith. So we've got the Duelist Saga Ultra. One thing about GOAT format is it's really easy. There's a lot of ways to rarity buff the deck. So a lot of cards can be just increased in the rarity. So Magician of Faith comes in rare, common, super, and ultra. And it's just a pretty deck. Can get quite expensive, however. So obviously, when Magician of Faith is flipped, you add a spell card back from your graveyard. So you might want to add back one of the Holy Trinity, like Pot of Greed. Play the 1 copy of Breaker the Magical Warrior. This is a gold ultra, back when gold rares used to be nice and not tacky. So anyway, Breaker, when he's summoned, he gains a counter. That counter gives him 300 extra attack. You can remove the counter to pop a back row. Play 1 copy of Tribe Infecting Virus. You discard 1 card, declare a type of monster, and then destroy all monsters on the field of that type. And it's not once per turn. This recently got unlimited in the OCG list, and I think it might even be at 3, so hopefully maybe it'll come back in the TCG. 1 copy of DD Warrior Lady. She's another light target. Also, she can deal with big issues. May take a bit of life point damage, but you can banish them. You can banish them both. Herself and the monster she battles. 1 copy of Tsukiyomi. Some decks do run 2. I like it at 1. When this card is normal summoned. When this card is normal summoned or flipped up, you can target 1 card in the field and flip it face down. And then during the end turn, as all spirit monsters do, it goes back to your hand. So this card's quite useful if you want to reuse cards such as Magician of Faith, Knight Assailant, and Magical Merchant. Also, she sends herself back to the hand in the end phase, so you get to reuse her. 1 copy of Sangan, again another dark target. When he's sent to the field, you get to add 1 monster with 1500 less attack from your deck to your hand. Most commonly, you're probably going to add stuff like Sinister Serpent, which you'll be able to reuse with his effect by adding himself back to your hand when you use cards such as Tribe Infecting Virus. 1 copy of Morphing Jar. Some decks don't play this at all. I quite like it. It can be a pain in the arse because if your opponent attacks, they can obviously then use their cards in main phase 2 to their advantage. But if you've bricked and you need to get cards in the graveyard to use your chaos monsters, then this is quite good. One copy of Sinister Serpent, as I said. In the standby phase, he brings himself back from the graveyard to your hand. So there's a few cards in this deck that make you discard cards from your hand to use effects, such as Tribe Infecting Virus, Regeki Break, even Morphing Jar. So if you want to get hand advantage, this is quite cool. Next, we move on to the spell cards. We play what is known as the Holy Trinity. So 1 Delinquent Duo, 1 Pot of Greed, and 1 Graceful Charity. So Delinquent Duo recently got reprinted in the card collection in Secret. I have a Italian Ultra, a Secret Pot of Greed, which I really like, and 1 Super Graceful Charity, which has a magic card on it. Again, you can rarity buff a lot of these. Pot of Greed comes in ulti. You can get the secret version of Duo, and I think Charity may even come in secret in one of the legendary collections. The reason I play the Super is because it's got magic card written on the end, so on the top of it, so it's really, really old. For some of the one-offs, we play Heavy Storm. Quite simple, really. Play 1 MST. So MST was at 1 in this format, which I find really confusing, seeing as Heavy Storm was at 1. Surely this should be at like 2 or 3, and this should have been banned, whatever. 1 Book of Moon. This is a common, but again, you can get it in secret. Target a monster, flip it face down. You can use it for your monsters, your opponent's monsters. It's quite versatile. 1 Snatch Steal. This came back a few years ago, didn't it? I think it was 2015. This came back for the format and it got banned straight away. But yeah, Snatch Steal is good for just taking your opponent's monsters and using them against them. Obviously, they'll gain 1,000 life points during each of their main phase out of it, each turn you control their monster. 1 card Destruction again, help get chaos targets in the graveyard and help unbrick hands. 1 Premature Burial, pay 200 life points and bring a monster back as an equip card. It's basically just a monster reborn of the format. Play 2 copies of Nobleman of Crossout. This card is brilliant in GOAT format. And I mean brilliant. So you destroy 1 face down monster and remove it from play. If it's a flip effect monster, both players banish all copies of that card from their deck. So it's good against Magician of Faith. You stop your opponent from recycling their graveyard spell cards. It's good against Gravekeepers, which Joe does not like me playing against, because basically their win condition is I flip this, I summon another Gravekeeper. They've all got more than 2,000 attack, beat me. And Necrovelli, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Nobleman of Crossout, staple in the format. Onto the traps, play Juan Mirror Force, because Mirror Force. Also, it was at 1 at the time. 1 copy of Ring of Destruction. I believe Ring of Destruction was at 1, wasn't it, Joe? You had a quick look at the list.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. So anyway, Ring of Destruction is really good because you can push that last bit of damage. Also, you can target problem cards in the format, such as Thousand Eyes Restrict, which can't be destroyed by battle, really, seeing as it's the only monster that can attack on the field. So out problem monsters. So 1 Ring of Destruction. 1 Regeki Break, again, out problem monsters. Also, you can discard your Sinister Serpent and then recycle it to your hand. 1 copy of Torrential Tribute. Again, this card was at 1 at the time, so it's just a board wipe. 1 copy of Dust Tornado. I have been tempted to take this up to 2 in the past. So obviously, with MST and Heavy Storm both being at 1, you need to ratio out how you're going to get rid of your opponent's back row. This is another answer to that, and also lets you set a card in the same turn you activate it. So you could set a trap in your opponent's turn to then use in your turn. 1 copy of Call of the Haunted.
Because it was limited.
Call of the Haunted was limited? Mm-hmm. Was it? Oh, I was about to say I'd like to play 2, but yeah, clearly not. So yeah, because it was limited. And then we played the 1 copy of Return from the Different Dimension. My favourite card of the deck. I'm pretty certain this was at 1. Was it? Can you see it? Oh, well, anyway. Pay half your life points, special summon as many banished monsters as possible during the end phase. All the banished monsters that were special summoned, banish all special summon monsters that were summoned by this effect.
No, it was unlimited.
It was unlimited? It was a 3. Well, to be fair, I mean, I very rarely use this card, but when I usually use it...
banishing cards in Go format anyway.
Well, in Chaos there is. Oh, well. Yeah, well, in Chaos. But anyway, yeah, Return from the Different Dimension. I mean, it's good. It's really good. It usually wins you games, so you can bring back loads of your banished monsters and then just attack the game. As I say, a lot of the time I've activated this card, I've won. But at the same time, there's been a lot of situations where I've opened this early and I've just ditched it off for other cards. So anyway, guys, that's the Chaos Turbo deck profile. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.